Our goal is that the world reads what is written inside Qatar.
We're showing them how reading is the key to a prosperous future.
Reading is an amazing and active way of understanding the world.
I'm Ava Halim, and on this episode we take a deep dive into the world of literature. Qatar is a nation with a passion for reading. There's a wealth of books and knowledge in at least a dozen libraries, as well as bookstores like this one. And as Laila Humera found out, new initiatives are popping up to make reading fun for people of all ages, wherever they are.
One of the main pillars of Qatar's Vision 2030 goal is reading and education. That chapter in the country's story has been written, and who better to fulfill it than the future generation themselves? Helping to achieve that is Qatar Reads, a nationwide reading campaign. It aims to equip each child in every stage of their life with the tools to empower their minds through books.
The Family Reading Program is a flagship program at Qatar Reads. It's the biggest one with over 1,100 kids subscribed. The main goal was to encourage them to read and to select the books that suit these age groups best and are engaging the most, with different themes every month to keep the kids engaged. We deliver to their home every month a package with 2 books, either English, Arabic or bilingual, one of each language. We also deliver to them activity sheets and a comic based on a specific theme of every month.
The program is relatively new, but it's already seeing positive results with long-term benefits.
What we found is that there's a big increase in the number of children that enjoy reading. It's a daily habit, and one of the most important things to us is that it became a family activity where the parents are involved, their siblings are involved. So you can see that we're involving not just the children but the entire community, and we're showing them how reading is the key, the weapon to a prosperous future.
From book subscriptions to book clubs. Also a monthly affair, the community-driven initiative also encourages reading, but for busy adults. These ladies call their book club the Reading Malikats, or the Reading Queens. Founder Tracy George first set up the group to help herself settle into a new city.
When I came to Doha, I started asking around where's the nearest book club, and everybody kept saying, What's that? I said, well, let's start one. So I went to the ladies' forum and I said, would anybody be keen? And the next thing I got this flood of women saying, yes. So I said, okay, let's do this.
Bounded by their love for books, the Reading Malikats meet up once a month to share their thoughts on a book they've collectively chosen to read.
Book clubs are becoming increasingly popular in Qatar, and venues like this cafe in Doha's Pearl District provide the perfect setting for a gathering of bookworms. Ahead of this meetup, members of the book club immerse themselves into the pages of this book, Girls of Riyadh. So ladies, what do you think of the book?
I think that we can all agree that Girls of Riyadh was our favorite book for 2022.
And it's through these diverse books that members get to expand their reading repertoire and explore a world they normally wouldn't.
In today's society, people tend to read more social medias than real books. So I think those of us who enjoy reading books, we should encourage other people to also read books. You enter a universe, the one of the author, and you are encouraged to interpret, to think. So reading is an amazing and active way of understanding the world.
Someone whose work will likely be discussed at a future book club is Kumam Al-Madid. She is Qatar's first female English fantasy writer. I recently sat down with her to discuss the magical world she creates to help cope with her own personal struggles.
Time passed. I didn't know how long. It felt like forever. But I bet it was mere minutes. The candles spread around the rooms were dying down, so I pulled myself up and walked around the chamber, reviving them with magic.
Kumam, you talk very openly about mental health, saying depression took over your soul. Your first novel, The Lost Rose, deals with this. How do you decide to turn a difficult situation around?
Well, because the story had to come out, so I enjoyed writing it. But then after, I was so afraid getting it out, like people will know that this was in my mind. But then I was like, I'm gonna get it out, it has to be out, and I'm gonna help people, because knowing that I had depression completely helped me and changed my life, because I knew that something's wrong and I know how to fix it. So knowledge is power, so I wanted to give that to people.
Now, you said the magical worlds you create give you the courage to face your demons. How so?
Because when you put, for example, an imaginary, like, for example, if you have your depression, you imagine it as, for example, a creature, like a cat or something, and you talk to it and you understand it. You somehow humanize it, so it's easier for you to deal with it. It's always the unknown that scares people. So for me, it's something that I lived with reading books, especially like with Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, and all of these books. I discovered that it is an actual tool, so why not also me giving my story this kind of tool to people? And one of my favorite points in my career, when one of my teenage readers came to me and she said, "You helped me deal with my depression," and I was like, that's my point, that's my purpose.
You said writing gave you the courage to seek better resources. How do you think the issues of mental health could be better addressed in this region?
I think it changed a lot from the days when I was at university, like in around 2008-9. The more you know, the better you feel. Because, for example, if you have a flu or something, if you don't know if it's COVID or H1N1 or like just a seasonal flu, you will not know what kind of medicine you need. So it's the same thing with mental health. The more we normalize it, the more we say it's okay, all of us have it, the more we can like get the help that we need.
When you decided to publish your stories, you had doubts. You were worried about exposing your mind and your soul and being judged for your writing. Do you still have doubts as a writer, and how has your work been received?
I remember it. I was like so scared. It was like 1 week before my first novel that was supposed to debut, and I was like, people are gonna maybe will not like that I'm writing fantasy in a like more a medieval kind of European style. You have also I'm writing in English. I'm writing like a whole new genre here in Doha, yani. So I feared the judgment. But the moment it went out, like most of the people who are actually my readers, the young adults and the teenagers and the people in their 20s, they received it really well, and I was so happy. And some of them said, "Oh, you opened the door for us to write as well in this genre, and we love these books."
And finally, what message do you have for someone watching who may be inspired to follow in your footsteps?
Don't think about success. Don't think about like, oh, I become a bestseller or I'm gonna be the next J.K. Rowling. No, just be true to your story. Sit down, write, and after that, everything will come with it.
Thank you, Kamal.
Thank you so much.
Writing a story is one thing. Getting it published is another. Here at Rosa Publishing, I stopped by to learn more about that part of the business. Let's check it out. In 2013, Dr. Aisha Jassim Al-Khawari was an author looking for a Qatari publisher. Now, a decade later, she is a Qatari publisher supporting local authors.
Our community is the one we publish these books for. One of the challenges is continuity and having support that will make us continue to achieve these goals.
The country's first private publishing house hopes to enrich cultural life here by supporting local authors and presenting a diverse range of Arabic books, while also promoting the importance of reading across Qatari society. Al-Khawari opened Rosa Publishing House in 2017, making her the first female Qatari publisher, a responsibility she doesn't take lightly.
Rosa Publishing House was launched in the name of youth and spirit of youth, and started to feed the Arab library and the world library with Arab voices. Working in the field of publishing and bookmaking is very difficult, but we are continuing. Our goal is that the world reads what is written inside Qatar.
Meanwhile, at Mocha Cafe in the Pearl, these book lovers are doing their part to get more Qatari residents reading, one free book at a time.
We put a little magic on it, like we have the sticker, so you have the book, like this one.
After you read the book, we put a sticker like this, and it says, take this book, read it, and leave it for the next person to enjoy. And then we put like ribbons and everything, and there's a note that says free book, and then we'll leave it around public areas for people to find.
Book fairies began in the UK. Jean Bayaborda brought the idea here in 2017 and was then invited to be the official book fairy in Qatar. There are now 17,000 book fairies in more than 100 countries.
For me, the simple joys is, oh, I love this book and I hope you love it too. Simple as that, really. So yeah, it's about connecting people and sharing your passion with other people.
She says there are now more than 20 book fairies in Doha, and they've dropped off more than 500 books across the city.
Having this idea of dropping books around Doha, it's good actually. Even you don't know who gave it, but you know, after reading this, you can drop it somewhere else so someone else can read it.
The idea of paying it forward and the anonymity behind it is why many book fairies willingly give up their free time to spread the joy of reading.
For example, I'm going to a cafe, then I receive a free book. It's good because it's like surprise that, wow, I have a gift, and at least I can read it and to learn something new.
Back at Rosa Publishing, Al-Khawari has already published more than 200 Arabic books and hopes to encourage more local authors to pick up a pen.
When we make a book, we invest in the human brain, we build generations. We leave a meaningful cultural legacy for future generations.
Now, it's been fun learning about community-led initiatives as well as government campaigns, all with the aim of encouraging people of all ages to read. And that's all the time we have on this episode of Qatar 365. For more, check out Euronews.com. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.